And we are live, ready for some questions, guys.
Yeah, Nils. Any questions you want to ask me too? Well, I'm all ears.
Just gotta wait for the viewers to come in.
Yeah, I even published my own video to those people from my channel, at least my viewers,
Mm-hmm.
my subscribers, to be aware of it.
Yep.
Otherwise, this Q&A video will be a little bit empty for any questions been asked.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I'll go in my room where it's a bit more quieter.
Yeah, apparently. Even my first, yeah, even my own first live stream I made, I only had, what can it be, max 3 people watching it. I mean, I was even sure if it was how the routine and it was gonna work or something.
Yep. So, how's your day so far?
Well, considered I actually, well, I went to bed around maybe it's close to
Hmm.
maybe 8, 9 a.m. I woke up around 2 p.m. So I only been, yeah, so I've been only been awake for gonna be what 2 hours. Yeah, I know. I really screw up in this sleep cycle, but I what? I'm used to it. I am having doing this for I don't know, maybe more than uh, maybe for the past.
And we got a viewer. Hello. Any questions you want to ask me or Swedishdiablo here? If they ask a question, I'll read the question to you.
Yeah, any questions will be answered as long as they aren't too personal. I mean, or at
Yeah.
least that question doesn't matter.
They could be semi-personal, just not too personal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to be well reveal so much personal details of my life.
I hear you
That
on
would be,
that one, buddy.
yeah, I know, but that would be a bit awkward. Jeez. I mean, if someone asks you, like,
Thank-
yeah, yeah, if someone would ask you, how was it for you in when was the last time you were with a girl in bed or something like that?
oh God, yeah, those kinds of
Yeah,
questions are
that is a
too personal,
question.
guys.
That is one. Yeah, that is a question. I would say no comment. I mean, prefer personally, I prefer not to be able to be out.
Yeah,
Well, so far there aren't any comments or questions.
and they left. What the hell?
Yeah, I can even see from my end if there's
Mm.
any viewers. Yeah, there's. But considering the majority of my viewers are in fact from the United States, and
Mhm.
last time I did check was about gonna be an 85% of my viewers are not even subscribed to me. But yeah, I
Mhm.
don't mind. I mean, I don't mind if the people that want to be subscribed to me. Yeah, I mean, they don't have to.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, and also that since the majority of my people I've been watching are mostly from Europe and US, and compared to
Mm.
other like in the US, then, well, it might be quite early there. I mean, here is around 4 p.m. There might be some, I don't know, maybe it's close to 9, 10 a.m. in the morning. So,
For me, it's close. It's getting close to 10 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, that's true. And despite even some sort of parts in the US are might be a little bit earlier. Maybe it's close to, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 a.m. Since the US are divided in different time zones, at least by what clock itself. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, Sweden has all at the same time, despite if you're in the far north or the far south or so. The only difference between Sweden and Finland, Finland is always 1 hour before us. Well, yeah, so there it is. So yeah, there's a little like between me and my girlfriend. We talks. There's like 6 hours of difference between us. So when it's like midnight for me, it's like 6 p.m. for her.
Mhm.
Yeah, so my parents they think you should not even talk to her. You're screwing up your sleep cycle. How is it mine? Is it my problem that she lives that so far away?
It's
Even
not
though
your
I want,
fault.
yeah, exactly. Even I want to move there, but it isn't that easy. I mean,
No, you
first
have
of
to come
all,
up with the money, dude.
that. Not only that. I mean, even though I would be applying for citizenship, that can take time, and in the process itself, it would be to be as a citizen. That can take time, and since I have no idea how that even works, how they like the process and how long time it goes and how paper works. But luckily, though, we had at least one person in her family that can help us with that, with some of the issues, questions, since her cousin is married with a man from Yemen. So
Mm.
so they actually had some experience and some help for that problem. But yeah, and as long as I live at home, my parents will not even allow me to even go there in person. I mean, I live
Mm.
under their roof, their rules. So if I live my own, then I can do whatever I want to do. But until then, nah, not much. Despite I can the language fluent, well, for most part, there are some English words I have basically no understand for translation what it means. I mean, consider from how the language is quite quite popular around the world. But
Mhm.
yeah, so and if someone would like to talk to you in let's say French or Spanish, you probably won't even understand most of it. Probably maybe a few words like amigo, adios, like that. Those are more common known words most people know what it means.
Mhm.
But if someone talk to you in Chinese or Japanese, well, it's like no, no words for me then. Even though I can only few words in Japanese like sayonara, um, arigato for things and like that. So
Mhm.
basically, there are only a few words. But I mean, my parents can sometimes been a bit pain in the butt. So let's say it.
Baka.
Yeah, but what can I do? As long as I live under their rules, there is as much I can do. My
Mhm.
sister, she moved out years ago, and now she has her own family. My brother moved out a couple of years ago, and now he's home place. So yeah, at least
What's
one
up,
person to watch
Jason
us.
Jennings? Got a
Yeah,
question for
Jason.
Swedish Diablo here?
Yeah, Jason's one of my trustworthy viewers. Yo, Jason. Yeah, no. If I had even made a video itself, I was posted on my channel. None of my subscribers would even be aware of this QnA live action live stream. So yeah. So Jason, if you have any questions to me or Cody/Kai, always ask away. I mean,
Mhm.
this. We don't even know how long this live stream will last this time. Last time was about what was it,
30
like a
minutes.
half hour, something like that,
Like
30
half
minutes
an
or so.
hour.
Yeah, I mean there are people who are doing live stream. Uh, some I think have done it for maybe it's 24 hours, but there are in fact those channels that are um, can be live stream constant, like 24/7, 7 days in a week, a whole year without a break. But they
Mhm.
mostly, yeah, the most of them are, well, from my scene was in fact some of what was it? Well, about space, something like that. But well, I mean, live stream was in fact something I did thought about doing in the past, but since I have basically no idea how to even operate it, and I was even aware of this StreamYard site, so yeah, so this is a whole new frontier for me to be exploring. Um, I mean, consider how many people are using the live stream either from Discord, Facebook, Instagram, or basically something like that. So it's like so. So, Jason, do you have any questions, or did you leave?
He's still here.
Yeah, I can't even see if there's any viewers from my end. Yeah, I mean, live stream itself is it's quite something new. Um, Despite I have seen other people been doing live stream for at least a couple of years before, but never thought doing it myself. Even when I
Mm,
first started my channel, I was actually had no plans to do any videos at all.
mm,
Favorite movie? Well, that it
mm,
would be well, it depends first on what category. If you're asking for, if you're like asking for in like comedy, horror, or maybe it's there had to be in specific category of type of movies because when you talk about as favorite, that can be various so different. But if I say favorite comedy, well, that's a bit of a problem. That I have actually several. Someone I do like
action
action.
movie.
Well, there's I usually don't watch much action movies anymore. I used to do in the past, but if I was
The
saying
action movie right here is Dragon Ball Evolution.
the live action one,
Yes, the live action Dragon Ball movie.
yeah, I did see only parts of that movie, but I'm not much a fan of Dragon Ball Z or something like that. But I don't judge. But personally, as an action, I would say maybe the last action hero, where Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's is actually a good movie. That is probably one of
Yes,
my
him and being in kindergarten cop in the Terminator. Oh my god.
Yeah, even the Terminator itself is a good movie, but the most recent sequels like the Genesis and Dark
Mm,
Fate and and the other one they made, what was the name? Salvation. Those type of movies are trying to Terminator. Well, personally, I think those were had really. Mm, I haven't even seen much about Dark Fate or the recent ones that came out. Well, personally, I don't think I think those are really how to say roughly like follow tracks or have just been literally being falling apart. I mean, consider one of those background from those in the 80s, they were even better. But as we all know, movies that has a sequel after sequel usually gets worse, gets a lot worse, but somewhat gets too bad even to be interested. But not all movies though. There are some facts, some movies that have some decent good
mhm,
like for example like Force and Awakens for Star Wars Episode 7. I
mhm,
admit that movie when I first saw it, it was very much like they had made a lot of remake of Star Wars Episode 4. Like the
mhm,
Starkiller base. It was very much like Death Star when it destroyed it. Is like almost like the same. And basically, there were even some questions. What planet used to be Starkiller base? Well, that has now been confirmed that that was actually the planet Ilum that was used to part of the Jedi Order, where they found these crystals. apparently there was apparently even the Empire somehow mined out these crystals from the planet, and it was until the First Order who took over that and made it to this first planet builders. And I did ask myself if we would be able to build a real functional, well, not perhaps except the super laser, but if we would have built a life size of a Death Star 1 or 2, guess how long time it would have been taken to build it? It would have taken at least 800,000 years to build a life size of a Death Star in real. And yeah, and the price to be that it would be more than billions, like more than trillions to even to build that. I mean, consider why build a life size Death Star in the first place. I mean, the thing strange is the first to build took 20 years to build, but the second it took less than a fraction of that time, almost like 4 to 5 years. But even it still wasn't even 100% complete yet. Yeah, but if I do say, but Star Wars though, when it came out the movies back in the 70s, Episode 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 7, 8, 9. Strange order, if you ask me. I mean, when they first started to make a Star Wars franchise in the saga, they made it. Why not start with Episode 1 and onwards, and then just backwards? That's just strange.
Yeah, it's very strange indeed.
And the funny thing is also when I heard about this, George Lucas, when he was actually gave the rights to the franchise toys and anything, and since the company didn't believe Star Wars would be like a big hit, and later, well, I will say this: 40 to almost 50 years later, it's so great popular as a cult size status around the world. I mean, for last time we did heard about Lucas Harris and his rights of the toys, everything like the merchandise, giving I think it was maybe $3 billion in worth. That's a lot of money. So that the company who gave them the rights to that, they made a lot of huge loss on that. But like Jason said, they're the most action favorite. I would say the last action hero, and maybe parts of the original Terminator movies actually. If you had any other questions to ask, just ask away. We're always here to answer the questions. I mean, are you falling asleep or something?
No, I'm good. It's just the way I'm breathing, the way I'm laying down.
Well, the last time you were on the live stream, or at least before that, you were always falling asleep. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good action movies out there. But if I would say my top favorite movie of all time is actually The Goonies. I cannot explain it. It's my top favorite movie of all time, no matter what.
Yep.
Even though Never Ending Story also is a decent, well, good movie actually. Is there any more viewers? I mean, since I can't even see that.
It's Jason.
Well, according to my website, or from my account, or my channels, or at least 7 people have been seeing the invitation to this live stream, so who knows? So, Jason, do you have any other questions to be asked? Any random questions at all?
Maybe from pop-up a question.
Yeah, there might be a lot of questions have been asked though. Depending, of
Mm-hmm.
course, for yeah, it can be anything actually. Just any random
I'm just
things
gonna
for it.
think of some questions.
Yeah, there can be anything like what I like to do in my spare time, except for doing my stories and well, something like that. I mean, doesn't necessarily have to be any. At least as long as they're not any too personal. I mean, of all the people who have been watching my channels for the past, what can it be, in almost, oh, I think I have been using my channel for nearly 12 years by now, maybe 12 or 13, but only
Damn.
half, right? Sorry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for almost 12, 13 years, and only half of that time I have been doing MLOP love stories like that, but even before then, I just made random story videos.
Mm-hmm.
Since I basically was not even, I wasn't even planning to do any particular on my, it's not much fun on my channel. First,
Oh
it was just,
yeah.
yeah, the first time I made my channel, that was just to be able to see videos that was in fact being, that couldn't been, you needed an account or a channel to be able to see those. So, now that was only about a year later when I made my first kind of test video just to see how it works, and even though I made my LOP stories, well, let's see, that was I was actually only originally planned to only do the main six and a few background characters, but I admit that when people start asking more and more requests over time, well, I didn't expect that to happen. I mean, consider how many people have been asking me stories for almost 6 years. Like, well, consider from daily basis, it can be from, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 people have been asking. And there is Derby Borough, which has around 200,000 stories that be potential shippings. But though there are some shippings there I would never even consider it, like Shining Armor with his own mother, which is wrong to ask if you ask me. And there is Rarity with a rock, Tom, um, who she believed was a diamond. And there is Twilight with a book. I mean, Twilight dating a book. How would you even explain that in this love story? It's like, if you could get married, the book will be silent. It can't even say, I do. Yeah, so, and even my girlfriend, I found at least a thing she found maybe around, let's see here, my email. Okay, let's see, take some time. Close to 248 stories in total. While
Mm-hmm.
there are even a few non-MLP stories that have been, but I admit, there are in fact somehow even one of my categories in my list of non-MLP stories I've made. For some reason, some of the stories I had made over the past few months suddenly has been gone. It was like removed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's strange because in the past I always got a message either from YouTube explaining for the story that's been flagged as a copyright, but none of these others hasn't even been. So I asked myself, how is that possible from been doing that? And my girlfriend may have has some plausible for explanation. She believes maybe it is due to the fact that some of them are based from the Halo game series, and I don't even remember exactly which one of them were when she made up. So even if Travis Bell, who asked me to make his stories, if he asked me to do them again, well, that is just one tiny problem, since I don't even remember which story I made. So that will be a bit difficult. But consider how many people ask me stories for the past few years, and well, let's say there is a constant of always new requests, always every day. Each. I mean, there's a lot of potential in that. I mean, knowing how many people have been asking, oh boy. Is there any more viewers, or is only Jason?
Just Jason.
Hmm.
But I can't complain. Jason's giving us his support.
Yeah, actually, since Jason is actually one of my, I don't actually remember how long he has been a viewer of my channel, but he is a great person actually. He always supports my channel, always leave positive comments afterwards on the stories, like, hey, as long as I get some positive, I don't mind. But
Yeah.
there have been some negative past for the past few years also, but I always remove them. But it's strange, for some reason I get some comments, or at least some sort of comments about some links to some porn sites to the websites. I don't know why that happens. So I always remove and block the person, always. Yeah. That reminds me of one time with one of my close friends, also on YouTube. She was targeted by cyberbullying concept. She was almost thinking of to leave, but she later made us a friend of this person, so they stopped. Bullying is one thing I never want anyone to experience, because bullying itself is not fun. And I do talk about experience myself. I was bullied when I was in maybe 7th, 8th grade, and later years, a couple of years later on. I don't know why, and especially during the kind of being the third and fourth year last on school, I was targeted by a group of girls for no strange, no reason at all. I mean, I didn't even talk to them. I didn't even said anything about them. They targeted me, called me, they called me gay. They got a guy who hate girls. Well, at first I actually just ignored them as almost that. I didn't even bother. That didn't bother me, but they kept doing it repeatedly. So one day, one class, when it was during class, I walked out in the hallway for some, I don't remember exactly why, but I saw two of the girls walking in the hallway, and it says, there goes a gay guy or his girls. And for some reason I just snapped and walked up to one of them and slapped right in the face one of the girls and walked back to class. Actually, I didn't regret that at all, because she deserved it. I mean, she had been targeting me and one of her friends because I didn't even do anything against them at all. Considered how many other other people they can be targeted in school, but they choose me. For some reason, I haven't even been doing anything against them. I haven't even talked to them. Even one of the girls said she could report me for assault. Well, I could have then says if she decides to report me for assault, well, go ahead. I can report you for bullying in this school, because I never do anything. I had tons of friends who could support that. I never talked or even said anything bad to them. So they may target me for bullying, anything like that. For what reason? For fun? Maybe. What's the fun of that? Uh, I mean, bullying itself isn't. Well, this Q&A video was a little bit empty for questions, where I usually do. So far, it's only one question from Jason, but well, you see that it's still early in the different parts of the world for people to be in. Maybe some of you still asleep, and since it's Friday, some may be either be in school or work. Are
Yep.
are you at work or anything like that at all? I mean, do you work?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Hmm. So if you don't work, how are you able to pay the rent?
My my caretaker supervisor takes care of my bills for me.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Otherwise, if you don't pay your own bills, how would you even be able to stay there? That actually makes sense. Otherwise, you're living on the street by now.
I'm not sleeping. It's just like I said. It's the way I'm breathing. It makes it sound like it.
Do you have any questions yourself to ask?
Hmm.
Well, this is
Honestly, I don't know.
yeah, me either. But is there any other girl you're interested in, rather from your ex?
Well, I have been talking to this one girl, but she's been AFK off of a meal for over 5 or 6 days now. But whenever she gets back online, I'm gonna ask her what her real name is, and I'll tell her mine.
Well, who knows? Maybe that might be some spark between you two. Who knows? Only time can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when your ex girlfriend was like the first time she was going to see you, her landlord messed up. That was pretty odd. I mean, not her own fault, because I mean, things always happen between or like that. Especially when she had to go back home the next day. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. I mean,
Actually, she sent back home the same day. But yeah, it pissed me off either way.
hmm?
She was sent back home the same day, but it still pissed me off.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true though. Some girls might be odd, some other be controlling, dominant, or some other word being or other words being termed to be insane.
Well, yeah.
Whoa, your friend got blocked on social media for just asking her name? What? That's just weird. If you
Mm-hmm.
ask me though. I mean, I cannot even see any reason why that your friend's being blocked for asking a girl's name. I mean, if but the thing is, if this girl that your friend asked, Jason, this girl, if if you had a sort of, if there's like, if it was Facebook, you can use usually by reading the name, but if it's like Instagram, from what I understand, which I don't, since I don't even have Instagram myself, but you can just make a random name for Instagram and Twitter like that, but on Facebook, there basically you can just make your own name. But otherwise, I really surprised that your friend got blocked because your friend asked this girl's name. It's like if I would ask Cody for his
Mm-hmm.
name, and he say, "Oh no, I will not tell you. I will be blocking him because I did not tell him his name." But
Okay, another question here. Oh wait. Oh, it's never mind. Hold on. It says I wish you good luck, and that my friend got blocked on social media for joking, for asking for her name.
yeah, that is
Huh.
yeah. I mean,
I wonder who he's talking about.
yeah,
But thank
yes,
you for the luck, man. I appreciate that.
yeah. But at the same time, get your friend blocked because for asking a name. Personally, that is a bit strange, if you ask me. Though, I mean, even though, but if it was on Facebook, her name should be visible otherwise. But rather from being blocking itself, maybe it could, that
Mm-hmm.
this girl can rather from other options rather than just being blocking it. It is that could have said, "I don't want to tell you my name," or maybe it made some a nickname, or maybe it's an alias. Maybe if some if this let's say if this girl had the name of maybe let's say her name is Julia, and maybe she was maybe
Mm-hmm.
not been telling her true name at this moment because maybe there's something else. But yeah, but it's strange though that your friend got blocked on social media for asking her name, which is it's pretty odd.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never had even experienced that in myself, but even though I don't even block anyone on my Facebook, well, since I don't even get any friend requests for the past couple of months, I I probably have maybe as close to maybe as around maybe 30, 40 people as friends on my Facebook. I only accept those who is someone I know at least, or maybe it's someone a friend of mine who has maybe a good friend or family member maybe asks to send a quest. Maybe then I get something that someone, at least if it's a complete stranger who has no mutual friends, that person would not be accepted at all because I don't want to be too much as rude. But if it was like my best friend who is the same age as me, and if he had a sister or a cousin who asked me to be a friend. I mean, as long as I do know, since I have been knowing him for me for more than like almost what can it be?
Noise, that's just not bad.
Let's see here. I have been knowing him for about 24 years in total, and I see him not only as my best friend, but I also see him as my brother. Can I say it? Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, friends and all, but always stay safe on social media. Always. There are always creeps, stalkers, or even worse online. Trust me, I heard tons of those kind of stories on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, and that is one thing I don't want to be experienced myself or my friends and family to be experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do have one question for you, Cody. If you could have any,
Mm-hmm.
if you could choose any type of work at all, of any kind, what would you choose?
Mm. I'd probably go work at GameStop over here in Ruston.
That's actually something sounds good idea. Though my girlfriend's brother, he he probably would
Mm-hmm.
have worked at either GameStop or been a game designer. He loves games, basically plays a lot of games. Like he plays games non-stop at all. Oh the boy. Yeah.
Shit, I've been playing video games since I was only 3.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of games when I was a bit younger, like Wii Sports, like archery, bowling, something like that. But that was years ago. They were fun.
Mm. You know what? I got one for you now, Swedishdiablo. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
If there's just one or multiple powers.
You could have like any 2 or 3 superpowers.
Okay, if there's multiple, I'd probably say super strength, flying, and there's a third power, quite easy, immortality. Well, at least there's something like Superman. I mean, like Superman, who is at least invulnerable like to bullets like that. So he's at least maybe not not as immortal, but something like close to like maybe a slow aging process that I can be living maybe for up to 400, maybe 300 years, but remain almost like the same appearance. But I do age, but it's quite slower or something like that. But I would say something flying, super strength,
Yep.
and like that would might be. If I'm flying, I probably use it. I don't need. Then I wouldn't even need any for planes to go to see my girlfriend. I can just say, well, I am. I probably type a message saying, I will see you in maybe a 35. I will see you in maybe 20 minutes. I will be outside your door. Oh,
You
time
know,
control.
I know what superpowers I would
That
choose.
that is so. But or time travel. But if you do have time travel,
Time control. Well,
yeah,
that's a good one, Jason. That's a good one.
yeah, like
I would. Okay, time travel is one of the superpowers I would have. Super speed and the power to shape. Not super speed, but power to fly and the ability to
oh,
shapeshift.
that would be awesome.
Kind of like Beast Boy. Beast Boy does in Teen Titans.
Oh, people would be like, Beast Boy, Superman is one. I mean, though, the Beast Boy, he wouldn't really have to be required to be like Superman because he can just transform himself to any flying animal. But here's the thing: can Beast Boy even like
Nope.
shapeshift to other people?
No, but his polar opposite Boy Beast can.
So even if they will say if Beast Boy were able to shapeshift to one of the people like Superman or Flash, he still would not be able to like to be fast as Flash. That would not be as. But still, shapeshifting actually is a quite cool ability to have. But still, there are a lot of potential. Even though every
Hmm.
superpowers has always a sort of weakness, like super strength can always have some super weakness.
Uh, he said the same thing I did about the shapeshifting.
Yeah, I did see that. For example, like if we says young Superman, and he's about let's say if he has a cold, and we don't even know if he's immune to all the diseases that it's known to man. But let's say that if he has a cold or a flu, and he's about maybe knock on the door, just normally like anyone should do, but instead for a normal knock, and when he knocks, the entire door flies inwards at high speed, goes through the walls. That
Yep.
pretty amazing. Like if you're like going to for your friend's home, like knock on the door and suddenly, whoops, that is about too fast and too hard to be knocking. Or what if he's sneezing? Or if Superman sneezes and that's rather from normal sneeze and he sneezes and he makes other maybe a tornado. That would be a little bit strange. I mean, there are, in fact, most superpowers always have some weakness or something like that, but there were at least one power I don't know which, if it has any weakness, it has its immortality. There are, in fact, at least a number of superheroes and which has
Mhm.
that. He asked, would you really like to fly above everyone? I mean, people would see you, report sighting of you flying, record you, and texting, and the government is tracking you down. Well, actually, if you may sense if you had ability to fly,
Mm.
yes, that might sense reasonable that you may have been tracked, but unless, if you're like seeing, Ant-Man, who has the ability to transform, to change his size and shrink to like the size of an ant or as a giant. If you will be able to, if you could somehow shrink yourself to a small size, or like Beast Boy. Beast Boy has the ability to shapeshift, and he can transform himself to maybe as a small bird, but he still would be recognizable due to the fact even if he transforms himself to like an eagle, he's still been easily been noticed because since he would be green, so he would easily be noticed. But if he made himself smaller, like maybe as a fly, and was flying high speed, high up, high up, then it would not be any fast. Unless though, if the superhero has both flight and being invisible, that would be not much any problem. I mean, superheroes always has there
Mm.
are
Jason got a point about the flying. Listen to this. Would you really like to fly above everyone? I mean,
yeah,
thing and record you, and next thing you know, the government is tracking you down. I see where you're coming from. Oh, we got another viewer. I didn't see the two until just now. You got any questions for me, Swedishdiablo here, viewer number two?
I mean, breaking down is as a have been a fly, be able to fly and report you. But if you lived in a world that's uh, is friendly towards heroes and maybe
If you wear a disguise, it wouldn't matter.
sorry,
If I wear a disguise, it wouldn't really matter.
yeah, but also if there was been a world where superheroes were actually working with the government to run the world, and they wouldn't have had any problems. In fact, there are even one superhero that
Mm-hmm.
I know, like Batman, who had. There was even a video on YouTube there where Batman has records of all the known superheroes' weakness, like Superman for kryptonite. And
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing: kryptonite. There are different colors, different
Mm-hmm.
side effects. Green, weaken him. Red removes his powers completely. They say to emit the same type of ray as his home the Krypton's own star, and there is even blue, silver, yellow, and even gold kryptonite. But unfortunately, I don't even remember exactly what side effects they have. But I do say this: kryptonite is in fact real. they found this new type of mineral several years ago, which they named kryptonite, and it was actually like the green color. Whew. But I just say this, oh boy, superheroes and superpowers,
Mm-hmm.
always goes over a lot of great responsibility. But of course, there are even some superheroes that may have gone corrupt and go rogue or Batman's superpower is being rich. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much though, Jason. That's true. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Good one. That's a good one,
Yeah,
Jason.
and even we know, for example, even though from the original Batman animated from the 90s and also from the 2000 when he came out with what will happen to Batman if when he's go too old and he can't protect Gotham or like that. But it later turned out in Batman Beyond, one that takes, I think it takes place around the, could it be in 2020s, 2030s, like that, where in fact this young man, uh, what's his name? I should have forgot his name actually. But anyways, it turned out this young boy, a young man who became the new Batman, is in fact a clone of Bruce. I mean, but Batman has been super rich, or is rich his own superpower. Well, not only that, he has several martial arts black belts, and he has even high intelligence, great detective skills. So even despite that Batman doesn't even have any superpowers, but he's still very great superhero. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for this, like an example where we meet um, in the series Justice League, where they meet this man Savage,
Mm-hmm.
which later turned out to be uh, how says as they can't even kill him, no matter how much they fire guns at him or even launch a nuke on him. He somehow still survived because he is had been exposed to meteor which emitted some glow that made him immortal. And he's about, I think, close to 10,000 years old. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so even one episode from Justice League where Superman end up in the future where humanity is extinct, except from Savage, who is the only survivor. So is there any other viewers, or is it
Mm.
only Jason?
We did have a second here, but they just left
Oh,
not too long ago.
yeah, there's.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could meet one of the superheroes from Justice League or anything, which one would you meet? And if you could spend the whole day with a person,
Mm-hmm.
what would you even do? Hey, Cody, don't fall asleep right now.
Hmm. I'm not falling asleep on you, dude. I'm not. It's just the way I'm breathing is all.
Are you even sure? Because it sounds like you start falling asleep there.
I'm sure.
Oh, okay. He also asked another question. If you had to choose just one, what would it be? Uh, well, that
That's a good
yeah, but
there.
also I don't even do you mean like to choose to spend time with his one superhero? What do you even ask? I mean, I was confused there for a moment. If you mean as to spend time with just one superhero, and what would it be? Or just one superpower? Just um, I I don't know. Since I am a bit
Mm,
confused about that questions actually. But if I choose one superhero or superpower, oh, well, I would say as a superpower, mm, it is
mm,
flying. I mean, flying is probably. Right. Well, as a superpower, I probably say flying. But if I don't even took flight, but if I choose like super speed, like Flash, the question is if I will be able to run fast enough to cross like an ocean, like Atlantic Ocean or something
mm-hmm.
like that. Is one, but is just one superpower? I prefer to say flying. That is probably what I would say. I probably think someone is falling asleep by now.
But anyway, it's like been like 7 minutes. So hmm. But if I had to choose one, if I had to stream, if I had to choose one superpower, just one, hmm, shapeshifting, obviously.
Yeah, well, with that power, you're going to be able to shapeshift to almost anything, like to maybe a famous person like Elvis, or I don't know, or maybe to Wonder Woman. That would be a little bit hilarious. Like seeing you transform into a woman, and okay, I was like, so if you're a woman now, what do we call you now? You're not Cody. What we I don't know, maybe Cindy.
Green.
What about this? What?
Anyway, it's about time to end the live
Yeah,
stream. So what were you saying? You cut out there for a second.
nah, that was nothing important anyway. So
Okay. Well,
yeah, it
this has
has.
been fun, guys. This is Cody slash Kai Smith, and
Swedishdiablo signing off.
this is Cody slash Kai Smith and Swedish Diablo signing off. Bye
Bye.
bye, guys.